Let's talk about vampire weaknesses and why they exist. Ever wonder why garlic, of all things, sends them running? In many cultures, garlic was believed to ward off evil due to its strong smell and medicinal properties. It wasn't just for flavor, it was protection. Then there's sunlight. Vampires thrive in darkness, so the sun, a symbol of purity and life, naturally becomes their enemy. Holy water and crosses. These stem from Christian beliefs, symbols of divine power that repel unholy creatures. The wooden stake through the heart? That's not just dramatic flair. In folklore, it was believed that pinning a vampire to the earth would stop it from rising again. And let's not forget mirrors. Vampires supposedly cast no reflection, symbolizing their lack of soul. Each weakness isn't random. It's rooted in cultural fears, religious beliefs, and the need to explain the unexplainable. These aren't just monsters, they're metaphors. And their weaknesses? Clues to what we feared most. You ever wonder why vampires are so irresistible? I mean, sure, there's the whole blood-sucking, undead thing, not exactly first date material, but still, there's something about them that just pulls us in. Today, I'm peeling back the velvet curtain on some of the most bone-chilling, lesser-known vampire legends throughout history. Not the glittery kind, the real shadowy folklore-drenched kind. Let's start way back. Mesopotamia. Ancient Sumerian texts speak of the Akimu, spirits of the dead who were denied proper burial rites. These tormented souls were believed to roam the earth, whispering madness into the ears of the living, draining their vitality. Fast forward to ancient Greece, and you've got the Vrikolakas, a grotesque, bloated corpse with glowing eyes and a thirst for blood, often blamed for plagues and sudden deaths in villages. Not quite the charming account with a cape, huh? Now, I know you've heard of Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, the guy who inspired Dracula. But did you know that during his reign in 15th century Wallachia, he impaled over 20,000 people, leaving forests of corpses as warnings to invaders? He once invited rival nobles to a feast and had them all executed on the spot. To his enemies, he was a monster. To his people, a national protector who used terror as a weapon of order. Twisted doesn't even cover it. Then there's the Strigoi in Romanian folklore. Undead spirits that rose from the grave to torment the living, steal milk, and drain livestock. Villagers believed these spirits could be stopped only by exhuming the corpse, driving a stake through the heart, burning it, and mixing the ashes into wine for the afflicted to drink. Yes, you heard that right. Jump to 1725. The case of Peter Blagojevich in Serbia. After his death, 9 villagers died mysteriously. Witnesses claimed Blagojevich returned at night, suffocating them in their sleep. The panic was so intense, local officials document the case and sanctioned the exhumation. His body was found unnaturally preserved, with fresh blood at the mouth. They staked and burned him on the spot. And don't even get me started on New England. In the 1800s, tuberculosis ravaged families. Desperate and grieving, people believed the dead were feeding on the living from beyond the grave. They called it the New England vampire panic, a wave of fear that swept through rural towns. Mercy Brown? She's the most infamous. Her body was exhumed, her heart removed and burned. The ashes were mixed into a tonic and given to her brother, who was dying, in hopes of breaking the curse. Spoiler, it didn't work. So yeah, vampires aren't just gothic fiction. They're stitched into the fears, rituals, and desperate hopes of real people across time. Disease, death, the unexplained, all wrapped up in one blood-dripping bow. And even now, we keep reinventing them, from seductive immortals to lonely souls just trying to find connection. So tell me, do you think the vampire myth is just folklore? Or is there something darker, deeper, still lurking in the night? Hit subscribe if you want more legends that keep you up at night. Until next time, keep the lights on. So, we've covered their origins and the chilling tales that made vampires legendary. But now, let's talk power. Because if there's one thing that makes vampires more terrifying than their thirst for blood, it's what they can. Let's start with the big one. In nearly every culture that birthed vampire myths, the undead are cursed or blessed to live forever. Ageless, unchanging, watching centuries pass like seasons. Sounds romantic, until you realize eternity comes with a hunger that never fades. Then there's, in Slavic folklore, vampires were said to move with unnatural quickness, fast enough to outrun horses and strong enough to snap bones like twigs. These weren't fragile, pale aristocrats. They were predators. But it gets even weirder, or as Bram Stoker called it, the vampire's influence. In both Eastern European tales and later Gothic literature, vampires could hypnotize victims with a glance or a whisper. Sonas, it was called a glamour, making them appear irresistibly attractive or completely invisible. And they weren't just stuck in one form. It was a core vampire trait long before Hollywood got its hands on it. In Romanian legends, Strigoi could transform into wolves, owls, or mist. In China, the Jiangshi, a hopping vampire, could leap incredible distances and scale walls like a spider. In the Philippines, the manananggal could detach its upper body and fly through the night with leathery wings. Oh, and let's not forget the especially creatures of the night. Bats, rats, wolves, all under their sway. In medieval Europe, this wasn't just spooky. It was symbolic. The vampire wasn't just a monster. It was nature out of balance, and perhaps the most haunting ability. One bite, one exchange of blood, and the curse spreads. The idea that one creature could multiply, turning victims into predators, terrified communities. It wasn't just about death, it was about transformation. So why do these powers matter? Because they reflect our deepest fears of losing control, of being consumed, of becoming something inhuman, and yet we're drawn to them. Because power like that, eternal youth, irresistible charm, the ability to bend the world to your will, it whispers to something primal in all of us. But every gift comes with a price. And for vampires, that price is a soul forever tethered to darkness. Stick around, because in the next chapter, we're exploring how modern media took these ancient powers and turned them into something strangely beautiful. But for now, ask yourself, if you were offered immortality, would you take it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the night is far from over.